Multimillonarias tardes. How are you? Good afternoon for everybody. Hi, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar.
Yeah, I'm doing good. What about you, Maria?
I'm doing very well.
Yeah.
I would like to introduce Mr. Sanjeev to my community, to all my social media followers. Yeah. He was my partner at Royal Universities long time ago. And the beautiful of this is that we are sharing almost the same path, empowering people around us about our self-love, how we can do better when we love ourselves. How can we do better when we don't follow others just begging for love, knowing that everything that we really need, that is not a need, is in us because the power is in us. So that is very important. So I would like you, Mr. Sanjeev, how are you doing and how and why this topic is so important for you?
You know, I like your question very much. Everything is within us, you know. How can I love others when I'm not loving myself, you know? The more I love myself, the more I can love other as well. In practical life, what happens? People say, I love you, you know, which is okay, you know. So the more we love ourselves as much as I could, the more we can love others as well. Therefore, the anger, frustration, conflicts, fear, all kinds of negative emotions are arising within us because we are not able to love ourselves, you know. And in day-to-day life, you know, what happens, you know, people are living in the outside world with the chattering and the wandering of the mind, you know. Therefore, they are living into the thought of the past or the future. Why? Because they are connected with the mind, you know, and mind is connected with the ego, you know, and ego try to help us to live in the outside world. Ego doesn't say like I have to live inside world, you know. So the more we connected with the ego in terms of connecting with useless and unwanted thought, what will happen? The more we can have chattering and the wandering of the mind, and then we cannot live into the present moment awareness, and we cannot create a fragrance of self-love, you know. So in order to create a power of self-love, you know, we need to look within, we need to move inside with the help of deep meditation practice, you know. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it, that like the breathing meditation technique, you know, which is very powerful tools, you know. Why? Because the more we take long and deep breathing exercise, you know, what will happen? We take more oxygenated air inside, you know. And just for example, if I'm connecting with so many useless and unwanted thought in the form of chattering and the minding and chattering and the wandering, which is controlled by the mind or the ego. As I said, we are living in the outside world. But as soon as we connect with the long and deep breathing exercise, you know, we are moving inside. And when the breath is full of life force energy and it is connected with oxygenated air, you know, so it will help us to declutter, dissolve all kinds of the useless and unwanted thought into powerful, wonderful, and awesome thoughts. And finally, what will happen? It will create a fragrance of self-love by let go and disconnect with the thought of the past or the future, or by let go with the useless and unwanted thought. So most of the people are holding back, you know. We are holding back the thought of negative emotion, thought of hatred, thought of jealousy, thought of separation, no thought of all kinds of negativity. Why we are holding back it? Because we are not living into the present moment awareness, you know. We are connecting with so much useless and unwanted thought. And on the top of it, you know, in order to create a self-love, we can stand in front of the mirror, you know, and try to appreciate, you know, and accept our each and everybody parts, you know, like how beautiful my eyes are, you know, how beautiful I look like, you know, how beautiful my body parts look like. We need to appreciate, you know, and accept it with gratefulness, you know. So the more we are giving self-value or self-worth to our life, you know, just as I said, just in stand in front of the mirror. So what will happen? It will raise our frequency, energy, vibration, and it will create a huge trust within ourselves. And then it will help us to create more power of fragrance of self-love. Yeah.
I love it, your passion.